O si ona God, galele jagero kohig, Wade Blevins dawadon. Here, Jalagi Nakine, we RSU TV, we gonna new go. Josh, go he chaneli ne Jalagia de lo coste kohig. So, welcome. My name is Wade Blevins. I'm very happy to be here. This is Cherokee 4 here on RSU TV. Today is our 38th Cherokee lesson. So if you'll remember where we were at, we finished one story in the Blondie comic that was written in 1975 about Blondie and Dagwood fighting with the dogs, right? And the dogs not wanting to eat their dog food and wanting to, and got up on the table and ate their meal instead of their own meal, and they had to go to a restaurant, right? So today, we're going to start a new story, okay? So, and I think you'll really, really like this. There are really some good vocabulary. There's really some good vocabulary. We learned a lot of good vocabulary in the last one as well. And that's one of the things that I like about these comics, because they're very dialogue heavy, right? And so they emulate conversations that you or I might have on a daily basis. And that's one of the great things about comics. The more comics that you can read, and other people will tell you, people who say, I know people who have learned to speak English, and they learn to speak English by reading American or English comic books. They're very helpful. Watching cartoons in your language, or in the target language, is also very good. Because, like I said, they usually are very dialogue heavy, so they help you in daily interactions, and I really wish we had more comics that we could do. I'm going to try and locate the, like I said, there's Blondie, there's High and Lois, there's Beetle Bailey, there's Popeye, and I want to say there's one more, and I cannot think of what it is. But anyway, if possible, I will try to get hold of the remaining ones and for us to use, because to my knowledge, they're the only ones that exist in our language up to now. And they are very, very helpful, because they give us real dialogue. So anyway, so come, let's go ahead and get started, okay? All right, so as you can see, we're still in Ustijila, 1975, right? We're still on this comic. So here is the first page of the new story. I'm going to give you guys just a few seconds to go through it on your own, see how much of it you can read. Let me go ahead and put the Cherokee on there, because reading it here is sometimes very difficult. Okay? All right, so what I'm going to do here, I just noticed, there. Okay, I'm going to do it this way, because this is the title here of this installment, and then this are these two dialogue bubbles, okay? So let's read the title first, and let's see what we're going to be learning about today, okay? This is Ustijilahi. Okay, ustijilahi. That's blondie, right? Unegaha, unegaha. Okay, unegaha. So, unegaha, that means blanket. Okay, now, junawosti, junawosti. Okay, junawosti. This one kind of threw me because, and the reason why it threw me, and I'll tell you, the title, according to the comic, when you go on to the English part, it says Blondie in blanket coverage. Okay, that's what it says, blanket coverage. And so June Nawoste means it's like June Nawoste is like wearing a shirt. You know, Nawo is a shirt. You know, Junu, that you know, means the shirt that he's wearing, or that he's wearing one, you know. So to me, this really is like Blondie and the blanket that she's wearing. Okay, the blanket that she's wearing. But when you think about it, coverage and wearing, I mean, if you're covered in a blanket, you know, are you covered in it or are you wearing it? You know, so in that case, I think maybe it's just my Yoneg way of thinking, my English way of thinking, that I think, I don't think about wearing a blanket, I think about being covered in a blanket, right? So let's read through it one more time. Ustiti lahi unegaha junawosti. Okay. Ustiti lahi. Blondie unegaha, blanket junawosti, that she's wearing. Junawosti. Ustiti lahi unegaha. So if you didn't know that vocabulary word already, unegaha, the word blanket, that's a really good word for you to know. There's another word, and I can't, yekatli, yekatli, that's like a quilt, right? Yekatli, unegaha. Unegaha. Some people, some speakers use that word to mean a sheet. Okay, unegaha. Okay, means a sheet, but to other speakers, unegaha means a blanket. So hang on, let me just check. Okay, I'm just making. Okay, so unegaha in some communities, or for some speakers, that means a blanket. Unegaha can also be a sheet. Okay, so just be aware of that. Hiegatli, some people use that for blankets. Some people use that specifically for a quilt. Okay, so two different words there. All right, so let's read this one right here. He goes, yawn. Dohi you, ji le ska. Daganisi, Daganisi nesiwu. Okay, Daganisi nesi. Okay. Dagansi nesiwu. But see, that's like I'm dragging it. So Daganisi nesiwu. Okay. So yawn. Same. Dohiyu. Dohiyu. Hopefully you know that word by now because they use it a lot. Really. Jiluska. Jilusk. Okay. Dohiyu jilusk. I'm really sleepy. Okay. Dohiyu jilusk. I'm really sleepy. Jilusk or jiluski. Jiluska means I'm sleepy. Okay. I've also heard people say like jitlusk, jitlusk, jitlusk. It just means I'm sleepy. So that's another really good one. I would add that to my vocabulary if you don't already know it. Jitlusk, I'm sleepy. I use that fairly regular. Jilusk, I'm sleepy. Hilusk, you are sleepy. Hiluskus, hiluskus, are you sleepy? Hiluskus, you know. Okay, and this Daganisines, siwo, Daganisines, Daganisines means I'm gonna take myself to bed. Daganisines. And then the wu at the end means just, okay? So, Daganisines, siwo, I'm just gonna I'm just going to bed, okay? Daganisines, siwo. Okay, so you can, again, there's another vocabulary word that I would think you could use quite often. Daganisinesi, Daganisinesi. Okay, let me see if that word is in. Nope. And unfortunately, that word is not in the Cherokee dictionary. But Daganisi Nesi, that means I'm fixing to go to bed. And I've heard that word several times. I've heard it, you know, Daganisi Nes, Dechanisi Nes. You know, you're going to go to bed. Or Dehanisines, maybe. Yeah, that sounds better. So, Daganisines, I'm just going to bed. I'm just getting ready to go to bed. Okay. So, then she says, Ayada squu no chilaska. Okay. So ayada squu, ayada me squu as well. So we've talked about this one as a word, right? Ayada squu, ayada squu. Here, they write it as two separate words. I've seen it mashed all together. Ayadasku. So it just means me too, or me as well. Ayada, me myself. Sku, also. Nowu, now. Jilusk, I'm sleepy. So, me too, now I'm sleepy, okay? Let's read. So already we've got almost everything in here can be used on a daily basis, right? Things that you talk about. So let's read through it together. U stiji lehi u negaha ju na wosti. Yon dohiu jilaska daganisi nesiwo. Aya dasko nowu jilaski. Jilaska. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay. So if you'll notice, I guess we kind of need to go back through and we need to see. So this is the first one. Then you see them going up the stairs and going into the bedroom, getting ready for bed. And you see right here, you see the dog is going as well. And so they crawl into bed and he sees that the dog is in bed with him. Okay. Then in the next one, obviously the dog's been kicked out. Okay. So now we're going to go to this one right here, okay? The second one. Okay. So I'll give you a few seconds for you to try to read through it yourself and to see if you can decipher it, what it is she's telling him. All right. So she says, Atachewi, Atachewi, Hiyegi, Atachewi. That's Dagwood, okay, for whatever reason. Hiyegi, wake up. Hiyegi, wake up. When my daughter was a little girl, I used to play this game with her all the time. She liked to pretend to be asleep, and I'd be like, Nadi, Hiyegi. And then she'd wake up, and then she'd fall back asleep. And then I'd have Hiyegi. I'd have to tell her again, So it used to be a game that she liked to play. So, Hiyegi, wake up. Okay, next sentence. Ganoskiski, Ganoskisk, Aneltiska, Aneltiska, Nidaduyasti, Nidaduyasti, Igayatidla, Igayatidla, Galohisti, Galohisti, Gadagi, Gatagi, Gatagi. Okay. So, Ganoskiski, Aneltiska, Nidayuyasti, Igaitid, Galohist, Gatug, Gatagi. Okay. So, a lot of these words I think you might think sound familiar to you, and you might know what they mean. So give it your best. Okay. Ganoskiski. Ganoskiski, that's a thief. Someone who steals. Ganoskisk. Someone who robs. A robber. Ganoskiski. Aneltiska was trying. Aneltiska is trying. Nidayuyasti to get in, to go in. Okay? Nidayuyasti. Okay? It's trying to get in. Ikaitid, the front. Galohisti, the front door. Galohisti is the doorway. Gatugi, I heard, I hear it, Gatugi, I hear it. Okay, so again, this sentence is just full of to me, every word in here, is very valuable for you. Ganoskiski aneltiska nidayusti nidayusti ikoitid galohisti gatagi. Okay, so ganoskiski aneltiska nidayusti ikoitidla galohisti gatagi. Okay. Read it one more time, just a little bit faster. Okay. Ganoskiski aneltiska nitayuyasti ikaitidla galohisti gatagi. Then of course atatewe hiyegi. So Dagwood, wake up. I hear a thief trying to come in the front door. Okay. So now we're going to go on to this one, and let's see what he has to say about this. Okay. Give you a few seconds for you to see if you can read it yourself. Okay. So you can see he's kind of afraid. He's stuttering a little bit. He says, G stuisa, G stuisa. Okay, that's what he's doing here. So this is the first time I've ever seen it written out, somebody's stuttering in Cherokee, which I think is really funny. So he galohiste dehas dehasola dehasolatana'i. Oh, I meant hantadiskesti aguadanisti nasi. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Okay. Aguadanisti nasi. Okay. Aguadanisti nasi. Okay, G stu isa. When I open the door, G stu isa. When the door's open, when I open the door, Hi'a galohisti. Okay, this door. Okay, so Gistuisa, when I opened it, Hi'a galohisti. This door, when I opened this door, dehasolatana means lift your hands, raise your hands up, both of them. Okay. There's another way that the way I know how to say, you can say hasele tug. Hasele tug means raise your hand. Tasele tug, raise your hands. Tasele tug. But this makes sense too. Deha sola tana. Deha sola tanai. Deha sola tanai. Means put your hands up. So hasal dug means to lift it up, right? Hasal dug, anything, hasal dug, or hasal dug. Okay, and so this is one of those weird things, and we're going to come across this several times in this specific comic. There are specific words that deal with body parts and doing things with body parts and the condition of body parts. So, and I don't know why, like hasele tug just means raise your hand, hasele tug, or hak squodge means wash your face, hak squodge. And I don't know why that is. It's just, I think probably a long, long time ago, they were longer words and they were kind of contractions. They were separate words and they kind of got mushed together, and then over the generations and generations and generations, they became almost unrecognizable to their originals, is my guess, probably. Because if you see this word, deha sola tana, to me, it has that word, that hasal dug, to lift something or to raise it up, is in there, Now, your hands, jawoyin, I don't see that in there, but deha sola tana, yeah, it's like put them in the air, right? Put them up. Deha sola tana. Yeah. So, but it's like put your hands up, Deha sola tana. So, okay, then the next word says hantadiskesti. Remember. I mean, he's telling you, you remember hantadiskest. Remember it. Agwadana isti nasi. Awadana isti nasi means I'm going to be ready for you. I'm going to be ready. Okay. Awadana isti nasi. Okay. Awadana, I did it, right? Isti nasi is I'm fixing to do it. So I'm and it's just saying like I'm going to be ready. Okay, so let's read through this one more time, okay? So let's leave off the stutters, because I stutter enough as it is just trying to read it straight through. So, Jistu isa hi akalohisti de hasola tanai hantadiskesti aguadana isti nasi. Agwadana isti nasi. I'm going to be ready. Okay, awadana isti nasi. Okay. So in the original translation, he says, well, remember, I'm armed. But I think probably in Cherokee we just didn't really have a way to say that. Awadana isti nasi is more like I'm fixing to do it, which means, like I'm ready for it, right? So that's how it sounds to me anyway. Okay, let's read it one more time. Jistu isa hi akalohiste. Deha sola tanai. Deha sola tanai. Hanta diskest awadana isti nasi. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay. So now we went here, kicked him out. She's like, hey, wake up. I hear a thief trying to get in the front door. And he was like, okay, when I open this door, put your hands up. Remember, I'm armed. So he opens the door, and of course, who comes in but his dog? So now, here's what he says next, okay? So I'll give you a few seconds to read it yourself. Okay, so let's read it together, okay? So he says, Tla ya guan ta, tla ya guant, I don't know, okay? Tla ya guant, I don't know, okay? There's another word, a way to say I don't know, and it's more kind of a colloquial thing. I heard it a lot when I was a kid growing up. Hadiya want. Hadiya want also means I don't know. Hadiya want. Playa want. Another way of saying it. Okay? So, and you might ask if you have speakers around you or you come from a community where there are speakers, ask them. Say, how do you say I don't know? Do you say Playa want or do you say Hadiya want? So, Hadiya want. And some people just say do you want. They don't put the ha in front. Hadiya want. So, Tla ya guan ta. Yi da je tla. Yi da je tla. Ya gua dan ta. Ya gua dan ta. Ya gi na le ha le. Ya gi na le ha le. Okay, so this is an interesting one. There might be things in here that you kind of recognize, but it's put together in an odd kind of way. So, Klaya guanta yita jetla. Yita jetla means better. Well, da jetla means better. Da jetla, better. Let me double check myself, but I'm pretty sure. So, yep, dajetla. Okay, so dajetla means better. Okay, the yi means if in this case. So tlaya guanta yi dajetla, if better. Yaguadanta, I feel. So I don't know if I feel better. Yaginala, hale. Okay, or if I'm mad. Okay, aginala means I'm mad. Yaginala, if I'm mad. Okay? Yagi na le hale. Or if I'm mad. Okay, this is another construction to make an or statement. Okay, so so it's just another way of making an or an or statement. Okay, so I'm trying to see if I can find a no, not really. Okay, so you know, and again, it's one of those things I've kind of heard, but I never. We've already learned that word ke can mean or, and this is hale, hale. So tla yaguan ta. Let's read it together, okay? Tla yaguan ta yi da jetla yi da jetla ya guadan ta ya gina le hale. Okay, so what he's saying there, he says, I don't know if I should feel better or I should be mad. Okay, so I don't know if I feel better or if I'm mad, you know, because he thought it was a thief and it was just his dog wanting in, right? And we've all been there. We can all kind of relate to that, right? So, tla ya guanta yita jetla ya guan ya guadanta ya gina la hale. Okay, let's read the next one. So now we're right here. We're on the next page. I'm going to give you a few seconds for you to read it yourself. Okay. Okay, so let's read it together. Just 2 words. Do yu yo, dagi stay on, dagi stay on. Okay, do yu yo, dagi stay. Okay, do yu really, do yu yo, really. Okay. Remember, we had before that dohiyu kayo, right? Dohiyu yo, doggy stay, doggy stay. And doggy stay means my feet are cold, okay? So, usted, I don't know why, okay? Doggy stay, okay? It means my feet are cold. So, but again, this is a good one for you to learn, especially if we're going into wintertime. You know, doggy stay, my feet are cold. You know, dehi stays. Are your feet cold? Dehi stays. Doggy stays. Deja stays. Deja stays. Deja stays. Are your feet cold? Yeah. Doggy stay. Doggy stay. My feet are cold. And again, I don't. This was kind of weird because when I came across this word doggy stay, I was like, I've heard that. You know, it's one of those words that I've heard before, and I don't know where. I don't know who it was from, but it was kind of in the back of my mind. Doggy stay. And it's just one of those goofy words that, I can't tell you why it means my feet are cold, you know, Dagila stain my feet, right? I don't know. I don't know. So, dohiyu yon dagi stain. So, this is dohiyu yon dagi stain means my feet are really cold. My feet are really cold. Okay. So let's read it again. Dohiyu yon dagi stain. Okay. Dohiyu yon dagi stain. Okay. Dohiyu yon dagi stain. All right. And she says, give you a few seconds for you to read through it yourself. Okay, so let's read through it slowly. Na anagaliski aganowistiski. Okay, aganowistiski winegi. Okay, winegi. Okay, so na, the, anagaliski, electric. Okay, anagali can mean electric or it can mean lightning. We talked about that before, right? Anagaliski, the electric. Aganowidiski. So this may not look familiar to you, but if I said uganowa, okay, uganowa means warm, right? Uganowa, aganowidiski. Okay, does that help you? So the electric warmer, okay, so, or electric heater, right? Aganowidiski is a warmer, something that warms. Okay? Huinegi, okay? Go get it, meaning go get something that's flexible, right? And we talked about huinegi, huiya, right? Huinegi, right? We talked about that. We talked about in, I think, Cherokee 3, I believe we talked about that this is one of those classifying verbs, go get it, depending on the nature of the item. And the item is flexible and floppy. So you say huinegi. Okay, let's read through it again. Na anagaliski aganowidiski huinegi. Na anagaliski aganowidiski huinegi. Okay, so go get the electric heater, the electric warmer. Na anagaliski aganowidiski huinegi. Right? So we've just got a few minutes left. So let's go back through and read back through what we've done so far. Okay? So just You can either read with or you can just sit back and listen. I'll try to read at a fairly slow pace. U stiji lahi u negaha ju na wosti. Yo dohi yu ji lanska takani sine siwo. Ayata unskwa no wu ji lanska. Atajewi hiegi. Ganoskiski aneltiska nitayuyasti ikayitid kalohisti katagi. Jistu isa hi'a kalohisti de hasola tanai. Hanta diskesti agwatana isti nasi. Tlaya quanta yita jetla yakwadanta yaginala hale. Dohiu yo digi ste na anagaliski agana widiski winegi. Okay. So, as you can see, there's lots and lots of stuff in here that I really think that you're going to find helpful for you. Going to help you with your everyday use of Cherokee. There's lots and lots of stuff in here that I know I use on a daily basis, and I'm sure you will too. You know, my feet are cold. My feet are always cold. So now you can say that in, you know, in Cherokee, right? Dagi ste, dagi ste, dohi yo, dagi ste. You know, my feet are really cold. You know. Yeah. So almost everything in here, I think. You know, dohi yu jilanska. I'm really sleepy, right? Dagani sine siwo. I'm just going to bed. Ayadaskwa. No jilanska. Me too. Now I'm sleepy, right? So hiegi, wake up. Ganoskisk, a thief or a robber. Ganoskisk, right? Aneltidiska. Aneltiska is trying. Nita uyasti to come in, right? Ikatid kalohist, the front door. Katugi, I hear it. Okay, so there's lots of stuff in here. Jistu isa hi akalohisti, when I open this door. Dehasola tana. Raise your hands. So, you know, go through and again, you know, really look through these words and find words that you can add to your everyday vocabulary and start adding them in. So hopefully you found this beneficial to you. I know I did, from all of us here at Cherokee Nation and at RSU TV. I just want to say, well, don't dago hai.